we'll go to one of the places I like the least in this entire country. That's Baltimore, Maryland. Not because of the city itself, but because the Ravens play there. And the Baltimore Ravens play host to the Miami Dolphins. Now, sorry, this weekend it might be might be like that.
You can't see Zach right now, but he's had a fin up for the past 60 seconds.
It might be fins down this weekend. I've heard there's no camera on Zach, but you look at this game, the winner of this game, most likely, well, Ravens can lock up the number one seed. If the Dolphins win, they control their own destiny week 17 or week 18 for the number one seed as well. This is the biggest game of the season so far. Two Super Bowl contenders, two of the best teams in the AFC. It's best versus best. Like, you look at so many of these statistics. The Dolphins have the most yards per game in the league. They score the most points per game in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Best offense in the NFL. Ravens, best defense in the NFL. Dolphins offensive line allowing I believe the second fewest sacks. Ravens have the most sacks in the league. Ravens defense allow the least explosive plays. Dolphins love explosive plays. This is best on best. I mean, due to be a shootout and a fantastic game in Baltimore.
It's really funny too, because Mike McDaniel, we talk about the Dolphins' offensive explosion, their firepower all the time, and he actually came out during press conferences this week and he talked about that label of being, more of a cute team, like a fireworks team, and said, I think it's kind of odd. I feel like, I haven't checked lately, but I feel like we're pretty good at stopping the run and running the football. That's generally not associated with cuteness. And if you dive into the numbers a little bit, since week 8, your Dolphins, Zach, are second in defensive EPA, first in scoring and first in yards per game allowed, and fourth in sacks per dropback. They've already set the single-season franchise record for sacks in a season. This Dolphins defense has really turned it on, while the offense has taken a little bit of a step back from where they were earlier in the year, scoring 70 points per game. Still very, very good, top 10 in the league. But the defense for Miami, you just held Dallas to 20 points. The Cowboys have had the best offense in football for the past month. And they went into Miami and, they didn't light it up. They for the most part, got shut down by the Dolphins defense. Of course, a couple things went against Dallas in certain situations. But regardless, to say here, you're right, though, Jack. This is a very exciting matchup on paper of best versus best. And
on paper.
I don't think it'll be a blowout. I know some people are expecting the Ravens to go in there and whoop Miami because Miami generally struggles against good teams. I think it'll be a back-and-forth game where Baltimore pulls away at the end.
I think that a lot of people, this is just the way the NFL goes, but I think a lot of people are going to overreact to the Ravens' very good victory over the 49ers. Mm-hmm. And assume that this means that the Ravens are an absolute juggernaut and unbeatable. They're a very good team, but there's a limit to what you can get from one game. And while I have no doubt that Mike McDonald and the defense are going to do a very good job, the Ravens offense is to some extent up and down. Like, they're pretty good, but they rely on the defense getting them good field position for their scoring, right? If you neutral out field position, they're about the 10th best offense in the league at scoring. Very, very good, right? But not as good, I think, as people think. So when you're talking about what McDaniel and the Dolphins are going to be able to do, if the Ravens aren't able to get pressure on Lamar Jackson, if the Ravens defense isn't able to constantly stop the explosive plays the Dolphins are known for, I don't think that this is going to be a blowout. And I actually think the Ravens have a pretty decent chance here. There's a reason they're only favored by a few points.
Well, wait, real quick. Ziggy, did you just call my coach?
No. He's talking about the Ravens.
No, the Ravens defensive coach, Mike McDonald.
I saw both these guys. I saw both these guys faces change. No.
Ziggy, I'm way to correct yourself.
No,
for a second time.
I thought you were calling him a clown.
McDaniel versus McDonald.
I thought you were going with the clown on there, like you were calling him McDonald, like he's the clown.
The last few weeks we've seen, so Baltimore, the last few weeks they've given up an average of about 290 pass yards per game, which is 100 more than what they've given up. I think they averaged 180 for the season, but the last 5 games is 280, over 100 yards more. Teams have thrown the ball on them a little more than the last couple of weeks. What they did against San Francisco, though, was the 5 turnovers. San Francisco had their yards. They got up the field on certain occasions, and they turned the ball over 5 times. Mm-hmm. So the key to me in this game is, can Miami loves to get the ball out fast and get Tyreek Hill in space and run that offense with these speed demons. Can Baltimore pressure Tua up front? They lead the league 54 sacks this year so far, leads the NFL. Can they get to Tua, pressure him a bit, and force him to turn the ball over.
Make him uncomfortable. When Tua gets uncomfortable,
yeah,
that's when like that changes the Dolphins from an elite team to, in my opinion, a mediocre team. Pressure Tua makes mistakes.
Baltimore's run game too will be a huge factor in this game. I think they keep Tua and them off the field.
There's not a world where I can see this being a Dolphins blowout win. It could be a Ravens blowout win. It could be a close win for either side. The Ravens feel a little blowout proof to me at the moment.
The difference to me in this game is not the skill. It's not the talent. These two teams will probably meet again in a couple of weeks. It is the fact that Baltimore is playing at home for a chance to lock up the number 1 seed. It's January football. It's freezing cold. And I don't think these pansies from down south
you sound like a Ravens fan.
A chance.
Don't worry, it's not January yet.
So I bought my purple glasses. I bought my purple glasses.
You're a Steeler fan
because Baltimore is my lock of the week, -3.5.
Wow.
Sorry, Zach.
Wow. You know the Dolphins.
Look, my Christmas gift, my Christmas wish was to see the Dolphins the number 1 seed.
Yeah, it's a
I
change.
see a big time money opportunity this weekend with the Ravens only laying 3 at home with a chance to lock up number 1. I'm sorry. I hate to say it.
Can I just ask you here, Zach? This is probably the biggest Dolphins game in like
15 years.
Yeah, 20
years.
years. Like, if you lose, you might be a wild card team, and if you win, you might be the 1 seed.
No, they're gonna crush the Bills.
No, but still, like if they lose to Baltimore, the chances there that this great season turns into them being the 5 seed. While if they win this game, they might host the AFC playoffs and be what most people's pick to win to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC.
Oh yeah, if the playoffs run through Miami, absolutely.
Like you don't see these situations often where the results are that drastic in either direction.
Look, we just got to win 1 game, right?
You probably lose in the first round of the playoffs if you lose this game.
No.
Well, you might go to the AFC Championship if you win.
Well, I wouldn't take them to lose to Jacksonville, I don't think.
Probably not, but on the road, playoff game,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, we're not losing to Jacksonville.
It's fun.
I'm just putting it out there. Like, we are going to win this week. If there's 1 game we win, it's this week.
So Zachary is the voice of God, right? Because there's no camera.
Yeah, he's the voice of God.
So God is saying the Dolphins are going to win.
I'd say, Ziggy, isn't this so much better than the episode we had a couple days ago? This is just
the quality
nicer.
is. Yeah, I mean, folks, our show used to look like the recording we put together a couple days ago. Now we've got this studio. I mean, yeah, but it's good to see a little bit of progress.
Is this show better because the quality or because Jack is back?
It could be Jack
given his locks.
Or Zach is back too.
Yeah, what is this?
Like, you don't got a camera.
And I also have a really nice microphone that I did not plug in, and I was talking into it the entire time, thinking that we had great quality, and then I go and listen back, and I sound like I'm in a cave. It was horrible.
I love it on this podcast, and then we'll continue. I'm sorry. We can go from me stroking Paul's arm to 3 seconds later talking about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
That's you don't get that on most sports.
No, you
shows.
don't. You don't.
That's the difference.
We don't have enough subs.
People say that you got to be unique to your show because no one wants to tune in here and see an ESPN show. Like at the end of the day, we're not suits and ties. But I don't know if they want to see stroking arms either.
No, some people do.
Some people might.
I'm not sure it's our audience.